Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whenever you're listening to. This is Formcast episode, I think, 129. Just this very second before I hit the record button, I was thinking about my topic for the day, and I don't plan these things. I don't write it down. I don't have a script. I don't follow no teleprompter. I just kind of get on, hit the record button, talk for anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes because my episodes are really short, and that's kind of how I like it because I don't got to edit nothing, and I'm lazy like that. But the second I hit record today, I had this immediate feeling of like, why do I do these podcast episodes? Why do I try and every week record and put it on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all these things? And like, why do I do it? And I think instead of this being an episode of like, this is why I do it and this is why I'm going to continue doing it. I don't know. It's like it's a feeling of a sudden feeling, unfortunately, that maybe I'd stop doing them. I don't get any views for this on YouTube. I mean, I don't care to edit things, and I know this is not the typical YouTube content. Um, I don't get anybody really talking about it. A lot of people in the past have said, "Oh, I listened to every episode," but that was forever ago. And I mean, we're at, like I said, near 130 episodes. But I'm trying to convince myself that taking the time out of what is usually my day off from streaming and everything to take my time and do this and make it make sense for the return on investment, which my investment is my time. And time right now is kind of all we've got. It's I got one day off a week where I don't stream for 4+ hours, and I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's mentally draining to stream every day like that. um a one day to do whatever the heck I want, sit on the couch, not have anything to get to, no plans, no schedule, go out of town if I want, all these things, bike rides, etc., play with the dog, whatever the heck we want to do. But I go to the gym and I come home, and the first thing I do is I sit down and I record a podcast episode with whatever topic it may be. And just today, like I said, I got this sudden feeling of like, why? I don't really have a why anymore for the podcast. Some people have said, and this was a long ago, of course, because I don't really talk about the podcast much, but you should get guests on there, and I would love to come on. It's just so much more work for such, like I said, for such little return. And I know that consistency is key, and I've been consistent with this for years now. I mean, one episode a week. And I only took, I think, one time I took a week off, or two times maybe. Um, so I'm not really sure why I do these episodes. So I guess this whole episode right now, this little short episode, is about the fact that I'm not sure why I do these episodes. I'm not sure why I talk about streaming things. I'm not sure why I talk about um, life things and this and that. I don't know if it's for me. I don't know if it's for listeners. I don't know. When you're a live streamer, you immediately see the impact when you're live. People come in, they talk to you, you see numbers, you see the support, you feel the energy, you see the chats, the messages, and all that kind of stuff, and you see it in the Discord after. But with the podcast, you just record, you upload, and you don't really see anything. I don't see anything, and I mean, I'm not some big famous person, and I never thought this would go anywhere, but it was just an idea a long time ago, and an idea that I've stuck with. But the question is now, why? Why do I even continue? This isn't something of like, why do I continue? And I'm looking for someone to listen more and people to share more and blah, 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 blah. And poor me, poor me. No, this is just a podcast that I take a handful of my time to record and edit quickly and upload and do all these things and thumbnails and blah, blah, blah. It's not nothing. It's not a feeling of woe me and I'm whining about it. It's just the fact that I just literally got this feeling as I hit record this morning of why. I don't know why I record anymore. I oftentimes, for lack of better planning, probably, I don't know what to talk about often. I talk about things like for the fact that I'm coming up on 3 years full-time streaming this month, coming up in July. Today's the 30th of June, the last day of the month. Coming up on 3 years in the month of July. July 16th is the last day I ever worked a regular, normal job, and I'm using quotation marks if you can see that on YouTube. But I could talk about that. But I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if it's worth putting down in a podcast, recording, editing, and all that kind of stuff, and sharing my thoughts about it. A lot of the stuff that I think people would want to listen to would be my story. And I don't feel comfortable sharing my story for my personal reasons. But I think that would be the only thing people would be maybe interested in actually listening and seeing what I've come from and what I've gone through and the mistakes I've made and the successes I've had and the triumphs we've shared as a community and all that and so on and so forth. But I don't want to share that stuff on a public platform because, well, it's my story. And although it's been years and years, I just don't feel comfortable sharing that still. And that kind of bothers me. I don't know why. I don't promote a lot either. And that's obviously a thought in my mind. I don't promote my Discord when I'm live. You want to join, you join. I don't promote my podcast ever in the Discord or in while I'm live streaming. Like, hey, there's a new episode out this week. Just kind of uploading whatever. Whoever listens, listens. And one of these days, I always thought to myself, maybe it'll just blow up and someone will listen to it and share with people and share with friends. And all of a sudden, every week, there's a bunch of listeners. But I don't think that's the case. So after years and years, I don't know why I do this. So maybe next week I'll come back and with another episode of new topics and new energy and new focus and new motivation to continue the episodes. But I just don't know. I mean, I could talk about how my dog's doing well, how my grandma's not doing well, how my family is struggling to become caretakers for multiple family members. I could talk about how streams are growing great. I could talk about how I'm able to live a lifestyle now that I never thought I'd live. I could talk about all those things, but again, the question I had the moment I went to record today was why. So yeah, I also need a haircut, and it really bothers me. So at the end of the day, I'm not sure why. But maybe in the YouTube comments, if you do listen to this, and if you're a regular listener to my podcast, maybe you could let me know why you listen. Maybe that'll help me out. Well, on that note, happy Monday. Happy Wednesday when you listen to this, if you listen. Or happy whatever day it is, because you might not listen to it right away. I hope it's a good one. And thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time. Cheers.